Reporting from Colorado, we've recently experienced a light snowfall. Here's the update. Last night, in my time zone and early morning on the 13th, the Israeli authorities instructed all citizens, specifically the Palestinians residing in Gaza City, to relocate to the southern regions in anticipation of an imminent assault. The Israeli forces are preparing to deploy a significant ground presence to eliminate the entire Hamas leadership, and there's speculation that they might possess information about where the hostages are being moved. However, relocating over 1 million people, constituting Gaza's population, to other areas within the Gaza Strip, the most densely populated region on Earth, is a near impossible task. Naturally, some may argue that Hamas should have granted the Israelis a 24-hour evacuation notice before launching their assault. This situation highlights challenges from various perspectives. We had already recorded a comprehensive video addressing as many of your inquiries as possible regarding the ongoing situation involving Israel, Hamas, and the Gaza Strip, and its implications on broader regional and global relations. Originally scheduled for Monday, we've decided to release it earlier due to these recent developments. A multitude of you have raised questions about the events unfolding in Israel concerning the Gaza assaults. I'll do my best to swiftly address these questions, as there are numerous. First question: how do the Israelis remain uninformed? Israel is often hailed as the gold standard for intelligence, and the region doesn't typically pose many significant threats. If we analyze the larger picture, Lebanon is a somewhat known variable. Yes, Hezbollah presents a challenge, but it is primarily a political entity in Beirut, allowing for communication and surveillance. While concerns persist about fighters in the hills of southern Lebanon launching attacks across the border, it's a familiar issue with avenues for information gathering. Thus, it's a concern but not a critical one. Regarding the Syrian Civil War, there hasn't been a noteworthy issue on the Syrian border for over a decade, especially since Israel holds strategic control of the Golan Heights. Therefore, it's not a pressing concern. Jordan is a satellite state dependent on Israel for economic support, minimizing potential threats. Egypt, functionally an ally, has the majority of its population located on the other side of the Suez Peninsula, reducing the likelihood of trouble. This leaves us with the Palestinians. The Palestinian territories are divided into two main areas. The first, a crescent around Jerusalem on the west bank of the Jordan River, is primarily influenced by the PLO, which plays a significant role. While Israeli-PLO relations are never optimal, it resembles a semi-functional local government, allowing for monitoring. Consequently, this region has maintained relative quiet. The second area is Gaza, under Hamas control for around 15 years. Gaza essentially acts as an open-air prison for its 3 million inhabitants, covering an area approximately twice the size of the District of Columbia. It stands as one of the most densely populated places globally, emphasizing an industrialized lifestyle with minimal industrial resources. Nearly 90% of food, energy, and liquid fuels are imported. The notion that Gaza could rival Israel as an industrial power is preposterous. However, residing in a prison-like environment, with aspirations limited to becoming the mayor of the prison, cultivates an atmosphere where certain ideologies, though unsavory, may emerge. This isn't a justification, but an attempt at explanation. Essentially, this is the aspect that has continuously captured Israeli attention. Their surveillance focuses on this region, making it astonishing that they missed the recent developments involving hundreds of fighters, dozens of vehicles, and the utilization of 6 distinct transportation methods. This leads me to the second point: Israel will experience significant political implications, potentially leading to the fall of the government. While the Israeli government was never highly popular, the current situation has temporarily rallied public support. Netanyahu wisely reached out to all opposition parties to establish a national war council for managing the conflict. However, the civilian government faces challenges due to its demographic composition. Israel has laws that provide privileges to individuals dedicated to Judaism. For instance, those studying exclusively to become religious scholars and focus on the Torah are exempt from taxes and military service. This incentivizes having more children without the burden of financial responsibilities, creating a demographic comprising around 10% to 30% of the population. Imagine that relative who's on disability insurance, abstains from work, and spends their days complaining about the state of the world while sitting in their recliner. That's them. Due to population growth, this demographic is on the rise and holds significant influence, often playing a decisive role in the government. They form a robust minority within the Israeli system, and finding a way to mitigate their influence is a challenge.